It seems like an atheist is going to have a hard time avoiding the conclusion that there was a creator of the universe, of our universe, who exactly fashioned all things so that at one point man could emerge and be created on the earth, and that all things are directed towards him in a certain way, and that mankind has been given a world that he can understand, that he can look at. The world is blind, the universe is blind to its own glory, but man, who is part of that universe, can turn back and look at the wonder that the Creator has presented in his creation. How are you going to avoid that? How are you going to deny, just like we cannot deny that the simplest things are created in the world that we see around us? The simplest things are made. In the 1700s, the image was, of course, the clockmaker, all right? The divine clockmaker. Just as we look at a clock, we see that all the intricate parts need to work together. And they do, and that working together indicates that there's a cause. There's an intellectual cause who has mastery over the plan, who has mastery over all the parts, and put them together so that the whole can function. If that was the case for a simple clock, certainly it is the case, or it seems to be the case, for a universe exactly structured so that man can be, and so that man could look out and appreciate nature. How are you going to avoid that vision, that acknowledgement that you don't want to have? How are you going to get around it? Well, he's going to M theory. Okay? M theory. Okay. He's going to, of course, remember Stephen Hawking says to us that really our knowledge of the universe, man's knowledge, was man only had a concrete grasp of what was going on in about 1920, all right, with quantum theory, quantum physics. And quantum physics, of course, rejects and shows that Newton, at the level of subatomic particles, was mistaken, and that at the level of subatomic particles, you cannot exactly identify where a particle is at any one moment. Okay? Meaning that the particle seems to be in two different places at the same time, at the subatomic level. And therefore, this new physics, all right, which was to some degree accepted by Einstein, is going to be used. So we're talking about the subatomic level, and well, that in itself is indicative, okay? Because yes, it could be a definite form of knowledge, but what is he going to do with that fact, all right? In itself, it doesn't seem to in any way deny what is obvious, what we obviously see around us. Well, he's going to take quantum physics, the finding of quantum physics, and he's going to find a certain reading of quantum physics, okay? And this reading of quantum physics is going to be presented by a man named Richard Feynman. Who was a professor at the California Institute of Technology. Okay? And he's going to say this. He's going to say, a system has not just one history, but every possible history. Okay? As we seek our answer to the problem of anthropic coincidence, we will explain Feynman's approach in detail and employ it to explore the idea that the universe itself has no single history. Okay? Whoa. So much for Big Bang theory. What are you talking about? So you're applying a theory about particles and their history, all right, to the whole universe, and you're going to go explore the idea that the universe itself has no single history, nor even an independent existence. Write it down, please. Whoa. And we thought all of science, was trying to understand the universe that's around us. Wrong. All right? Because of the anthropic principle and because of the fact that the latest in scientific knowledge seems to throw us in the face of God the Creator, because that's a problem, because that's something we want to avoid, we're going to do this. We're going to read quantum physics in such a way that we're going to assert that the universe itself has no single history, nor even an independent existence. That seems like a radical idea, he says here, even to some physicists. All right? Indeed, like many notions in today's science, it appears to violate common sense. Well, what would violate common sense more than this? All right? That you couldn't even know the history, not only of one particular thing, but of everything. Okay? And not only that, what violates common sense even more is that, not only do I have to worry about, pink elephants, sticking their trunks in my windows, at night during a dream, but I have to worry about whether the universe has an independent existence at all. That's what I got to worry about. But common sense is based upon, so it appears to violate common sense. But common sense is based upon everyday experience, not upon the universe as it is revealed through the marvels of technologies, such as those that allow us to gaze deep into the atom or back to the early universe. Wait a minute, hold it. So we're going to put aside common sense, okay? We're going to put aside common sense, and we're going to put aside our everyday experience, okay? Because of the universe as portrayed by the wait a minute. The universe as revealed? I thought you said it didn't have an independent existence. What universe are you talking about? But not upon the universe as it is revealed through as it is revealed? As if it's there and it is revealed? Through the marvels of technology, such as those technologies that allow us to gaze deep into the atom or back to the early universe. I thought the universe didn't have one history. What early universe? Which universe? Which early history? Okay, so he's dismissing everything that seems to be identified by our senses. Okay. But the spectacular, until the advent of modern physics, it was generally thought that all knowledge of the world could be obtained through direct observation. That things are what they seem, as perceived through our senses. But the spectacular success of modern physics, which is based upon concepts such as Feynman's, that clash with everyday experience, has shown that this is not the case. The naive view of reality, therefore, is not compatible with modern physics. Underline that, please. The naive view of reality, therefore, is not compatible with modern physics. What is the naive view of reality? The naive view of reality is that there is a reality first. Okay, dumb. Why did you ever think that? Naive view of reality first is that there is reality. Second, that we have a universe that can be known. Okay? A universe that can be known. And thirdly, that we have a universe that had a definite history. And maybe fourth, we could say that naively enough, dumbly enough, we thought our universe had a definite beginning. Dumb. Modern physics, bow, throws that all out the window. Well, maybe modern physics should reconsider. Might be a point that you raise. Okay. Now, how can we do this? How does he do this? What is he doing to us here? Okay. To deal with such paradoxes, we shall adopt an approach that we call model-dependent realism. It is based on the idea that our brains interpret the input from our sensory organs by making a model of the world. Pure Kant. When such a model is successful at explaining events, we tend to attribute to it and to the elements and concepts that constitute it the quality of reality or absolute truth. All right? So when we have our model, and when it makes some prediction successfully, we attribute that to that model, and we say, oh, that's reality. That's absolute truth. Okay. But there may be different ways in which one could model the same physical situation. What does he mean by physical situation? He means universe. He means universe. But there may be different ways in which one could model the same physical situation, with each employing different fundamental elements and concepts. Different fundamental elements and concepts. So you're going to create a universe, model a universe using fundamentally different concepts and elements that you haven't used before, that you haven't discovered. If two such physical theories or models accurately predict the same events, if their prediction rate is the same, one model of the universe, one cannot be said to be more real than the other. Here we go. I told you. Rather, we are free to use whichever model is most convenient. Free to use. So what are we doing? We pick our own universe, depending on what we see as most convenient. Okay, we pick our own universe. Okay. So, the final teaching of Stephen Hawking, in order to avoid the idea that there's a single universe which laws exactly formulated to allow man to exist, okay, and which display design in all of its aspects, he's going to avoid that by saying there are many universes, many. Mathematics allows for many universes, okay, with an infinite number of histories. And all universes have different laws. That's M theory. That's M theory. Multiple universes with all different laws, with all different histories. So don't think your universe is so important. Don't be amazed when you look at the universe around you. It's just one of billions and billions of universes. Where's the picture of the bubbles? They have, it's in the book. You can see it later. A picture of little bubbles coming out. And he said, going through water, little bubbles. And he says, this is like what happens in the universe. Just like bubbles are produced underwater, so too, all different universes are produced constantly. An infinite number of universes are produced and come into existence and pass away. Most can't sustain life, but there's no doubt that some can. Okay. So don't be surprised when you stand there and say, "Wow, thank you, Lord." Don't think that. Infinite number of, just like the bubbles coming through water, infinite number of universes with all these different laws and situations. That's M theory, the conclusion of M theory. Let me just read this part. I got to read this. We will describe how M theory may offer answers to the questions of creation. According to M theory, ours is not the only universe. Instead, M theory, multiple universe theory, predicts that a great many universes were created out of nothing. No, this is not Mickey Mouse. This is a scientist here. Instead, M theory predicts that a great many universes were created. Yes, they were created out of nothing. Their creation does not require the intervention of some supernatural being or God. All right? Rather, these multiple universes arise naturally from physical laws. They are a prediction of science. Meaning what? They're generated by pure math. All right? Pure mathematical formulas that generate whole universes. Each universe, he says, how do we, he's making fun of those with faith and how do you know? And each universe has many possible histories. He knows this. Each universe has many possible histories and many possible states at later times. That is, at times like the present, long after their creation. Most of these states will be quite unlike the universe we observe, and quite unsuitable for the existence of any form of life. Only a few of these universes, created spontaneously out of nothing, only a few of these would allow creatures like us to exist. He knows this for a fact. Thus our present... Okay. Here we go. Me and my universe. Thus our presence selects out from this vast array only those universes that are compatible with our existence. Though we are puny and insignificant on the scale of the cosmos, this makes us, in a sense, the lords of creation. So, sorry, the universe didn't produce you. You produced the universe, okay? And by choice, you produced the universe, this specific universe, by choice. And therefore, contrary to what it seemed, we were prostrate on the floor, amazed at the intricacy and the power of the creator of this universe. No, dumb. We're the lords of creation instead, because we chose out this universe that we like, and we have the right to do that because there's an infinite number of universes with an infinite number of conditions. That's how he tries to get out of God. That's how he tries to put aside the anthropic principle, which puts us in the very face of God the Creator. Are you afraid of this? Don't be. Okay. Next, this afternoon I'll tell you, don't be afraid of God or anything. I'll tell you what Stephen Hawking is really afraid of. And really, I'll give you his advice, his last advice to the world, actually, as to what to do with regard to the human situation. Okay?